All right. Hey, Keisha, how are ya?
I am a fabulous and wonderful.
Yeah, you look good.
I got new hair.
Okay, I was gonna say it looks a little longer.
It's same length, but it's a lot more hair, and I
Okay.
got bigger, wider bangs. You
Okay.
can't tell that much because it's not fixed, but they're almost like Donna Summer's bangs.
Oh, yeah, I see it. I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I got like an extra bundle in there, so
Okay.
I'm showing out. I'm showing out.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I have on mascara.
You do.
Mm-hmm. I had to go to my son's. Now it really is his final basketball game. This is the third time I've said it. Because he had a final basketball game because we didn't know if they'd make it to the playoffs. And then they made it to the playoffs, so that was really that was it. Now he got invited this game today to be an all-star team. So he played on that. And then now that really is it because there's nowhere to go. But then I came home and took a nap because I had the recording time wrong, as I do at least 50% of the time.
One of us got it wrong. I never put it past me either.
It's like in my mind, the game was at 1:20, so I'd be home by 2:30. So I thought I said 3, but probably I thought 4 because I thought, what if it goes late? And then whatever, I got to take a 20-minute nap, and that made me happy. So there we go.
I can't do a 20-minute nap. I would wake up completely and totally pissed off.
Well, I laid down for 1 hour, and I know that in that 1 hour, I probably slept 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not enough.
No, I'd like to have a 2-hour nap period.
Yes.
So that way I might really actually sleep for an hour.
Yeah, that's how I am too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I started listening to a podcast. I put it on really low, and then I realized I was actually pretty much listening to it. So I had to turn that off.
No, can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens. Like, I can't listen to music to go to sleep. It has to be on like a reality TV show that I've seen 50 times. So it literally is just noise in the background. Yeah. But if it's music, I will be on stage at the Toyota Center doing full choreography, costume changes, wig changes, all of that. So no, I can't do it.
Okay. Well, I was listening to a podcast about the traders, which I love. And so then I turned it off because I was paying too close attention to what they were saying. So I turned it off. And then all I did was think about the traders until I fell asleep for a little bit, where I dreamed about the traders and then woke up thinking, shit, I should do an episode about the traders.
You should. I heard that is like the show right there. So many people can't believe I've never seen an episode. I'm like, okay, I really need to just sit down and watch this because.
Well, this particular season you would love because just of the Phaedra of it all.
And CT. I love CT. Mm-hmm. I've watched him since The Real World.
Yes. Okay. Now, I have a question. Was CT on The Real World or was he on Road Rules?
I think it was The Real World. I want to say it was Real World Paris. They were in a different country because he was on there with Ace, the one guy whose dad was in the Commodores, Mallory. And I can't remember any of the other casts, but it was forever ago.
Okay. See, I thought because they started that show Road Rules.
Yes.
So I thought, and then they had Real World Road Rules Challenge, right?
He's been on like every single challenge that has ever been on. I don't know how he still does it.
I watched all those like way, way back. I mean, I always watch The Real World no matter what. But CT, I thought started on Road Rules, and that's why I was familiar with him from Road Rules because I always thought he was cute. Always. Still do.
He's very handsome. He's probably a little bit on the crazy side, which is great for me because I love a case study while dating.
Same.
Something like 3 things have to be majorly wrong with you in order for me to date you.
Yes. And then Trishelle was on Real World Las Vegas. I remember that.
Yes, she was. She was a hot mess. She now lives in New Orleans. So does Arissa. Arissa lives in New Orleans too.
Okay.
Arissa and Ireland, the 2 mixed race girls that were very, very pretty. There was Alton. There was Frank, Bryn. And then I cannot remember the other guy's name who was really, really cute. I can't remember. Was it Jonathan?
I can't remember. He was
hooking up with Trishelle.
I remember that. Yeah, so Trishelle looks so much like my friend's former sister-in-law that is cray to the absolute Z. But they look
really
they look identical. So I'm watching her on TV, and it's literally like I'm looking at this girl. Like it's hard to.
That's crazy.
It's hard to differentiate the two. It's the same. It's the teeth. It's the nose. It's everything. It's everything.
Yeah.
Trishelle's got a good nose. I like her nose a lot.
My favorite season is and always will be New Orleans the first time around, because then there was a season of Back to New Orleans, but this is like the OG with Melissa and all those guys. I love that season. I actually rewatched it last year.
Oh,
it was so good.
I've never really gone back and watched much Real World. I did love when they brought back the original cast and put them all in that same apartment in New York. Yeah, I joined Paramount Plus for that. And I think
yes, me too.
I keep forgetting to cancel Paramount Plus because what else is it giving me? Nothing.
Well, because see, I still watch iCarly on there.
Okay.
Yes. iCarly was one of those shows that you started off watching with your kid because of your kid. Yeah. And even when your kid stopped watching it, James and I watched it all the way to the very end. Like I will sit in the house and watch episodes of iCarly. So funny.
Did you read Jeanette McCurdy's book from iCarly?
No, but that is on my want to read books because that shit sounds crazy.
It's really a good book. It's really good.
Is it really?
Really good book.
So you've never watched the series, right?
No, I mean, I dipped in and out. Like I got the premise of it, but no, my kids watched it. Yeah.
So I've heard people say that Jeanette McCurdy's mom was actually a lot like, what was the boy next door? Freddie's mom.
Okay. I don't know.
So
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. His mom's cray.
I just know the mom from the book, and she was cray, and just completely made her daughter like anorexic, and it was like wild. Like forced her to be anorexic, basically. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
It's
I gotta
terrible.
check that out.
Mother was terribly abusive. But the book itself is good.
I'm gonna read it. So I did get my bra fitting. I know you guys have been asking, and this is a shirt that was sent with it. I look like I got new titties. You can't tell my titties shit right now.
Okay, what does it say? I saw the what?
The hookers. At Livy Ray Lingerie.
Okay, and it's just got a picture of a bra hook in the back. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
She hooked me up with some shirts, some panties, but I feel like a new woman. I look like I got a boob job.
Love it. And she's going to come on your pod?
Yes, I'm going to interview her again. I don't know when we're going to do it, but it'll be soon. Okay. And because she's ready to spill it all.
Ooh, an exclusive on the Libra Lounge.
Yeah, because she has no dealings with TLC at all anymore. Over and done.
Okay. And then also I was going to ask you if you were able to get in touch with Risa Tisa.
I have done everything except for knock on her front door. I have sent her messages. I could not send her a message from the Libra Lounge Facebook page.
Right.
So you know how some people won't let you do that?
Yeah,
so I send it from my personal page. I sent her a message on TikTok. I sent her a message on Instagram. She's not read any of them.
She's inundated, I think. I've seen her everywhere. And I heard somebody say on a podcast that she, somebody had like gifted her a trip to Paris and London.
Yes, they did.
So I watched the whole thing. So I got to the end of the last part, right? And then the next part was she was going to do a live. But I can't watch a live. It makes me insane. I don't understand. So if you would like to give me any update, what's happened since the end of part 51 or whatever.
So, you know the interwebs and how people are. Yeah. They found Legion.
Okay.
And so they found Legion's Facebook page. Now Legion has created a TikTok account. He stands by his story. He says, you need to stop telling these people all these lies. I divorced you. I left you because I caught you cheating with Bradley in the house. That is why we are no longer together. He still stands by that, you know, he's got this great job. He's got the money. He looks god awful. I don't know what was going on with his knee, but it like spread to his face. There's like a fungus up there or something like that. I'm like, you should have stayed hidden. And so the very first wife, I think her name was LaToya or LaTanya.
Right.
She has come forth as well.
Okay.
She's like, I never wanted to have anything to do with this, but since I have been mentioned, she's like, and this is the only video I'm going to make. Everything is true.
Right.
That is what he does. That is what he did to me. She says, I have moved on. I am remarried. This is the only video I'm going to make. But everything that Risa Tisa said was true. That is what he does. He comes into women's lives, destroys them with nothing but lies and broken promises and all this bullshit.
Okay, good.
So I'm like,
good. Well, it's interesting. The whole thing about the knee, I kept waiting for there to be some.
And me too.
Like, okay, so it turns out he is, in fact, on opioids because of the knee pain and that, you know what I mean? I kept waiting for something to be revealed about the knee that made him take her pills. And then that's why he lost 400 pounds. And all, I was like, but nothing ever happened with that.
I was ready for a diagnosis. I think she didn't know. I think it's still ongoing, you know, when they broke up. And I don't think she gave a fuck anymore after that. After she gave him the $6 for some chicken nuggets, she was done. So I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Guys, look this up on TikTok. It's called Who the Fuck Did I Marry by Reesa, R-E-E-S-A, Teesa, T-E-E-S-A. And just go ahead and start from part 1 and go all the way through. Go all the way through. I think she was on Talk of Shame, Kiki, Talk of Shame. And either Kiki did a recap of it or Reesa Teesa was on there and did a recap of it. Oh, either way, I'm going to find a way for you to get in touch with her. I'm going to make it my mission.
I love you so much.
Because I want her to go on the Libra Lounge.
Yeah, and I want to get all the way up in her business.
I know you do.
And because I have a friend who went through like a similar thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And just recently outed the person. Remember that one day we were getting ready to record? I'm like, I have nervous burps.
Yes.
She released her story on social media on Valentine's Day.
Okay. And what happened? Because you were very nervous. And I was like, why is she doing that? Just leave it, you know?
I mean, she got a lot of support. But on the flip side, and this is what I was afraid of, is that, you know, more questions were going to come up. His mom got involved. Grandmother got involved.
Yeah.
Friends have been involved. So I'm like, to me, the book is still not closed.
You're just getting more questions.
It's still open. Yeah. And it's causing her to have anxiety and, you know, all these things. But
you said she was a super private person and you're like, she never even posts like a picture of her dog on Instagram. And now she's going to do this and like just go scorched earth. I was like, yeah, it doesn't sound like it's going to turn out.
I was nervous. I thought I was going to have to take half the Xanax before we recorded that day.
Oh, well, that would have been exciting. All right. Speaking of people that need half a Xanax, one is Chelsea. Wow. I got to tell you guys that I didn't think Chelsea could get worse. And then here she goes. But I got to say that I think at the very minimum, by the end of this episode, she has come to realize, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't drink so much on camera.
Or at all.
I think that him saying, okay, you're drunk and like starting, you know, for him, like flat out saying like you're drunk. This is what he should have said during the clingy fight that he didn't say.
Yeah, he should have went ahead and just got it all out of the way. But no, it had to get worse, which I'm glad he let it get worse because we got to see the downfall of it.
Yeah. But let me tell you what, he is a hostage that has fallen in love with his captor.
You know, I screamed the next day and he was there.
I know. I was like, that's it. He's leaving. That's it. Nope. Okay. Nope. Love is Blind, season 6, episode 10. What Could Have Been is the title of this episode. Mm-hmm. So we open with Jeramy taking his dog to the park, Layla, and talking to his mom. Mom, we haven't met her. We love her. We need more of her. She needs to slap him down a few more pegs.
How did he come from her?
I don't know. I don't know if
piece of shit.
His dad passing away really did a number on him, or was he always a piece of shit? I don't know.
And then the news stories that have been coming out about him too. He's more of a piece of shit than he was on the show. Possibly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Wait till the reunion. Okay.
Yeah.
So we do know from Netflix that they have not shot the reunion yet. So they've got to be shooting it here in the next week or two. It's going to be like right up to, maybe they're going to film it like 2 days before. I don't know. It's not going to be live. I know that because they made that mistake last year. So You didn't hear about that?
No.
It was on Netflix Live. So everybody, of course, sits down and turns on Netflix all at the same time to watch it. And it wouldn't work.
Oh, and it broke the internet.
It broke the
or
internet.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I do remember reading about that.
And like Matt and Jake were on live, like ready to watch it live. Like they had the whole thing. They were going to watch it live with everybody. And then eventually Jake had to leave to go to like a practice. And so then I got on the phone with Matt. He was talking to me on the phone on the live, and they're like, well, I guess we're not going to get it tonight. I mean, it's terrible. Terrible.
Oh, no.
So Keisha and I will not be watching it live because we don't want to break the internet with everybody trying to see what we have to say.
Yeah, because everybody wants to know what we have to say. We actually made a list of top 5 Love is Blind recaps lists.
Excuse me?
We are right behind Reality Gaze.
Excuse me?
James, anything that I'm attached to, James is always watching. I'll have to have him send it to you. Yeah, it was like a top 5 list. It was 1, 2. We were number 4, I want to say, right behind the Reality Gaze.
I've never been on a list.
Well,
yes, but they're doing it way later than us. Like they're just now putting out episodes. Because we're recording this early, but they're not doing them like dropping them all in one day like we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right there with them.
But they're of course they're very funny. But what? Okay, tell James to send me that list. I'm
gonna have him send it to you.
I need all the help I can get. All right,
go us.
Look at us.
I know.
Oh my God, people really love us, Keisha. Okay.
They do.
This podcast is sponsored by Little Spoon. Let Little Spoon eliminate mealtime drama for you and your family. Look, we're all a fan of reality TV drama, right? Like Amy and Johnny, if they're going to have kids in a couple of years, well, Little Spoon will be great for them because Johnny is really trying to save money. Little Spoon has healthy meals and snacks that your kid will love for every eating stage. They have the little baby blends. They have the biteables, which is transitioning, to the finger food. They've got the plates for your big kids. The smoothies, the lunchers, the snacks. My little nephew, James, tried all of these things. He loved the chicken dunkers. He loved this purple carrot acai bowl. Yeah. And a smoothie. You guys, it's just a wide variety of junk-free, better-for-you alternatives for your kids. Like I said, sweet baby James tried these things and was a fan. A fan. He loves the dunkers. Okay. Also, I got to mention, it comes right to your door. It's so flexible, so easy. You can change it up every week. It comes to your door. You pop it in the fridge. You pop it in the freezer. And then when your kids needs a snack or if it's that witching hour and you've really got to make a meal fast, boom, you pull it right out. So simplify your kiddos' mealtime with 30% off your first order. You're going to go to littlespoon.com/pinkshade, enter our code pinkshade at checkout to get 30% off your first Little Spoon order. Again, that is littlespoon.com/pinkshade, enter code pinkshade. You're going to get 30% off your first Little Spoon order. Do it. All right, so back to this. Okay, so we open with Jeramy taking his dog to the park. He's talking to his mother, and he says, I got myself a little bit of trouble. And, I just went out, and the plans changed. Ended up finding out this girl that I was sort of talking to in the pods was there, and, ended up talking to her till like 5 a.m. And I was like, hey, it's late. I'll just drive you home. So drove her to her place, and then I left, and I came home, and so I just slept on the couch.
He should have just slept in his car. Laura, he would have known I just better sleep in the car. I'm going to be parked right in front of our apartment, but I'm just for the safety of myself, I'm going to sleep out here in my car. I'm going to let him know I'm here.
I hate the way he talks and clipped. I know somebody who talks like this and I can't quite place it. It will come to me eventually, but I know someone who talks like this where he's very much just like matter of fact in clipped statements. This is the way he talks and this is what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So mom says, well, you're lucky it wasn't me. I would have been sitting there waiting on you. And he just laughs.
Felt bad.
Yeah. And he goes,
he's weird. There's something odd. There's something wrong with him.
Yeah. And he goes, well, this wasn't my plan. It wasn't like, hey, here's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to go fuck up and have fun and lose a fiance over this.
So I have a question.
Okay.
How did Sarah Ann get there? Let's say she went there with friends. Why did she not leave with her friends?
Mm-hmm.
Why did she not drive? Why would she have to potentially take an Uber and then end up having Jeramy take her home?
I think she took an Uber there, met some friends. I think that some of the pod guys heard that some of the pod girls were at Lost and Found. So they switched their plan and went to Lost and Found.
Because he put himself in this situation.
Yes,
I don't feel sorry for him. Not one. There's not even half an inch to feel sorry for him for what he did.
He said, I should have turned around, and he didn't.
He did not. I mean, I can see you saying, hey, Sarah Ann, nice to meet you. 5 minutes, maybe 10-minute long conversation, and then you take your ass home.
Yes. 5 minutes, not even 10.
He fucked all the way up. And I bet they kissed.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I sent you the video of what Laura thought they did.
You did?
I sent you that video, and your comment was, I'm scared her boobs are going to pop out, but you didn't see what she did.
Yeah.
So he says, that wasn't my plan to lose my fiance over it. And Mom says, well, if you would have called me, I would have told you that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Mom's like, basically Mom's like, I don't feel bad for you. You made a very bad decision. And she goes, but you told me you loved her, and you don't say that very often. So sucks to be you. Wasn't he just engaged before the show started? Did he not tell his mom he loved that girl?
Yeah, so that has come out now. This girl has come forward. No, it wasn't a girl. Her mom, the girl's mom came forward and was like, wait a minute. This guy was just engaged to my daughter. And she put a picture of Jeremy with the girl. And it looks like maybe, I'm just assuming she had a kid because he was holding the kid and they scratched his face out and all this. All the way up until the show. But to me, you were engaged when you signed up for the show.
He had like in the words of Heather Gay, proof, timeline, receipts. He had all that to show that they reached out to him like 3 weeks before filming and that he had sold his house before whatever. It doesn't matter. He's a liar face. So I don't really care.
Yeah. I don't really care. Punchable face. Like you just want to punch it.
And I'm so disappointed because, I was riding hard. You liked him. I liked him.
Yes, you were.
So now we go with Chelsea and Jimmy. So what we don't know when we see them is the night before she was mad at him. But we don't know this. We just see the two of them going to meet his family and have some barbecue. Okay? Yes. So we meet his mom, who's Janet. We meet dad, who's David, who is a deaf mute and or just a mute. And sister Donna. Okay?
Who looks exactly like the mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
The mom and Jeremy looks just like his dad. It's like the mom said, here's a girl for me. Here's a boy for you. And that man knows how to talk. He did talk towards the end. But
he was completely at one point I was like, Dad has said nothing because but he's got these women that are blah, 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 blah. He was just like, and he was just enjoying his barbecue. Let's be honest.
I think he was enjoying that barbecue.
So they're asking Chelsea, like, why'd you fall in love with him or whatever? And she said, Jimmy just painted this picture of like basic everyday life. And it sounded amazing. And, we're both ready to share our life and start, being in a committed relationship, whatever. And Mom says, have you talked about having kids? And they both say yes. And he says, Chelsea is everything I want in a wife. She's incredible. I'm so happy to call her mine. She's what I've been looking for. Chelsea seems so happy. Which again is so irritating, being that what happens later with all this amazing stuff he's saying about her, right?
She's insane. She's an insane person walking around like she's normal. And she's not, because if I were that pissed off at you, I would not have gone with you. Right. I would have said, you're going to have to reschedule this lunch with your parents because all I'm going to do is embarrass the fuck out of you. And talk shit about you in front of your family. And that is not a good thing. So let's just reschedule. But she was able to transform into a normal person who is highly in love with this man.
Yep. You're right.
I can never be friends with her. I would be scared of her. And I'm not really scared of any bitch on earth. But those kind of women like that, that's scary. She put me in the trunk of her car or something like that. You didn't say you love me this morning, Keisha. When we taught you didn't say you love me. And that made me feel so sad. That's so sad.
I love you with all my heart. So Chelsea seems like super happy. And this is dad has not said a word. Sister and mom are talking about, marriage is really hard. And the sister says she's been married for 3 years and, it's hard. And I was out of the blue. Dad goes, I like her. And mom says, to Chelsea. Well, you are very sweet and beautiful with a sweet soul, and I could tell that you care about him and y'all have a connection. She stole my son's heart, and all a mother wants is for her child to be happy. Mom says she and dad's name is James. I'm sorry, I said his name was David. That is Amy's dad. This guy's name is James. Sorry.
Yeah.
Apologies.
All J's and a D.
Yes, and Donna. Right. So James says, well, we've been together, I don't know how long. She says 43 years, and they laugh. It's like he doesn't even know. And when they got together, they wrote down things they don't like about each other. Mm-hmm. And he said, and my whole list was, she's a pack rat, and also she's a pack rat, and then she's a pack rat. And then other than the daily nagging and stuff, I love her to death.
Well, any woman with that hairstyle is a pack rat.
Yeah, we know what's going on with Janet. We got it.
When we saw her, it was like, oh yeah, she has got like a collection of porcelain dolls and porcelain clowns somewhere in the corners of her house. We that wasn't a surprise to us at all. To hear
what happened when she discovered word art?
Oh, it's dinner's ready, y'all. It's right in the kitchen.
Or my favorite one, pantry.
Yes.
That's my favorite one. So, or, home sweet home, or right above the kitchen table, eat.
She's got all of them.
All of them. Most of hers, though, I think are Bible references. Don't you think?
Yeah. And I bet they came from a thrift shop.
Lord bless this mess and all that. Yeah.
Grandma, she probably has like the sign that says her name, then mom, then grandma, then all the grandkids' names. She's got a t-shirt like that. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
She does.
Just waiting for Jimmy to add his children on there. So, okay. So anyway, other than the daily nagging, he just loves her to death. So now we see, and everything goes well. So now we see AD and her mom, Jacqueline. Jacqueline should be in a pulpit preaching. She's amazing.
Or she needs to be on The Golden Bachelorette.
True. She would be good on that show.
I think so too. Yeah.
She was great. So they're sitting there and they're waiting for Clay to arrive. And she goes, yeah, I haven't seen Clay since yesterday. Last night I planned this cute like DIY arts and crafts thing, like 25 things that why you're amazing. And I wrote them down, and I got his favorite snacks, and I got a card, but it's still sitting there because he didn't come home, because we know his weird work schedule. And mom goes,
that's why he didn't come home, because he didn't want to come home and do a fucking DIY project.
He's like, I don't want to come home and do arts and crafts, babe. I've been driving all day.
Yeah. I would pass up the house too. Like, I'm not doing that shit.
Oh, that's funny. And when she says he didn't come home, mom goes, is it Secret Service? Which is funny. So Clay walks in, and mom has a look like, wow, like he's he's cute, And he explains what he does for a living. And she's like, oh, well, that's kind of like AD. And he goes, yeah, we connected on entrepreneurial stuff. And yeah, I know my schedule gets in the way. And mom asked him a question, and here he goes. Okay, here he goes.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, like I always wanted to get married. Like in the pods, I was looking for somebody with adaptability and someone to be my best friend, like loyal to you and always have your back. And she's a walking testimony for what I'm looking for. And I feel I was meant to meet her in the pods. I was meant to be there, with AD, And I proposed with the Proverbs, and I lean on my own understanding and God's understanding. And I look in the mirror, and I could give her what she's given me. But my parents, they were married for 24 years, and the divorce split our household. And I struggled with stuff, and I let the past affect my relationship. And I never went to therapy. And mom goes, okay, hold on.
Yes.
Because how long is this going to go?
It would have still been going on.
And AD's like, you have no idea. He could do this for hours.
Yes. I hope she had warned her mom, look, okay, he's fine and everything, but he does this thing where he repeats the same story I've heard 20 times, and it lasts for like, it's 50 of the who the fuck did I marry? It's like 50 reels.
50 parts. Yes.
50 parts of him doing this. Yeah, he just goes off.
So mom goes, okay, hold on now. So why are you worried about your parents' relationship? I mean, they were married for 24, 25 years. Like, that's an accomplishment. And you have to think, how many people out there on this planet are lucky to have a good love for 25 years? So, it wasn't a good love. He was cheating on her the whole time.
Yeah, because she kept saying that. I'm like, Did AD not inform you that this man has been cheating on this woman since, like, I don't know, the second day of marriage?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't good. And she just accepted that. So I think this woman was probably very miserable
Yeah.
and stayed because of the kids or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think so.
But she
Yeah.
kept saying it was all good. I'm like, no, it wasn't.
So she says, stuff is our parents. Like, that's our stuff. I'm divorced. Of course, AD's father's passed away, but that's our stuff. You have to forward make good decisions for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're good in business and you've made good decisions in your life. You don't stop now.
Right.
The two of you now have the opportunity to do what we think we could have done better.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, I've put a lot into this child, AD. I've told her to go for the best. Don't be materialistic. Get an education. But there's time when you want a soulmate, somebody who has your back. And she told me something the other day I've never heard her say. She said, Mom, I can follow him. And he was like, how he does, because AD does.
And AD's crying.
Yeah, AD goes this, yeah. And he goes,
They do. And I kept wanting to say, why are you crying?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
I think my antidepressants may be a little bit too high. Maybe I need to go a dose lower because I was numb. I was just like, why are you crying? Why? What? There was no reason to cry.
I don't know. She's just emotional because it's her mom. I don't know. And then she says, but you got to go to grow together. No one is, she's not perfect. You're not perfect. And there are times where you sit down, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? What can I change? And you have to work on it. And also she points at Clay and says to AD, sometimes they don't know what they've done. And AD
don't.
And AD goes, you're right. They know very little. They laugh.
Because it's true. You could be bone fucking mad at your husband and you're just quiet there steaming. And they come in singing a motherfucking song, like a show tune or something like that. And they have no clue anything is wrong with you.
No.
And
whatever that was, they let
snapped.
Yeah, whatever it was, they let it go. They didn't think twice about it.
Yeah. And we're still stewing.
So mom says, I don't know if she means as women or her and AD particularly, she goes, we can do 80 things at once. And maybe you don't realize you left the toilet seat up, but I fell in it last night. And now I'm mad.
Right. That's true.
And AD says, but there's so much negative in you, like about the divorce. But I think your parents persevered way more than you thought. There was more positive in that 24 years than you should give credit, and you should give some credit to them. And I think that, in his mind, he's like, my dad took me on his bang trips.
I wanted to tell Jacqueline, stop saying that. You have no idea if, like, the mom would catch the dad cheating, they would have horrible arguments for days. Right. If there was, like, they wouldn't talk and there was a lot of tension in the house. I'm like, did you talk to his mom? Because you're, like, speaking facts and they're not. Yeah. You guys, I love my meal kits. Being able to have a delicious meal without the long prep and cook time is what drew me to Home Chef over the other guys. Their meals are effortless, even for somebody like me. I'm not making it to Top Chef anytime soon. My kitchen's more like Hell's Kitchen. I'm always trying to get everybody fed. People are running in and out on different schedules, and I'm trying to make sure everybody has a healthy meal once a day. Home Chef provides fresh ingredients and chef-designed recipes conveniently delivered to your door. It comes in that refrigerated box, you throw it right in the fridge, and then when you're ready, you pull it out and make it. I prefer the classic meal kits where they bring you the pre-portioned ingredients and the easy instructions. That's what I like, but they also have these speedy recipes that are ready in less than 30 minutes. They have oven-ready kits. You just pop it in the oven, and then it's ready. They've got you covered no matter what you like to do. They have over 30 options a week, and they serve a variety of dietary needs. So you don't have to worry what to make ahead of time and, is it going to fit with what I'm trying to do? Not only is it convenient, it's economical too. Home Chef customers will save an average of $86 a month. You guys, that's a lot of money. So for a limited time, Home Chef is offering my listeners 18 free meals plus free shipping on your first box and free dessert for life. What? That's homechef.com/pinkshade. You guys, free dessert for life? Homechef.com/pinkshade for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. Okay? Homechef.com/pinkshade. You must be an active subscriber to receive the free dessert. Do it and let me know what you ordered. So he gets up to go to the bathroom, and mom and AD talk, and mom was like, now, that's a man.
Now, he is a little scared of how to move forward, but I'm glad that you chose someone sight unseen because it's so much more. I mean, he has some substance, but you can't talk about divorce and set yourself up for failure. And AD's like, I'm so glad you're here and I'm so grateful you're supporting me and all that. And she's crying again. And you being here means everything. And AD says, but you see the roadblock that he has. And Mom says, yeah, he's a big one. Mom says he's taking on his parents' stuff. And then she hugs her and it's like, you're awesome. And she says, you've excelled at everything you've tried to do. And there's nothing you can't do. You give it your all. Like, I'm so proud of you. And she says, and if he doesn't think your all is enough, then that's not your guy. And then Mom says, like, you're a woman and don't knock on the door unless you're a man. And you need to decide, like, if he's worth the fight. So Clay comes back to the table and Mom tells him, she says, you have to stand on your own foundation. And you are the man that she envisions. And that means your mother and your father did do something right.
Here we go again.
So here he says, I'll fight for Amber. I'm going to choose to be here. I'm going to always advocate for you. I'm going to always choose you. And I should say that more. And then Mom goes, keep that energy, Barack and Michelle. And he goes, what? And he goes, I'm like a ghetto Barack. And she goes, where did they start? They started at the bottom. They grinded it out. It'll work. I was like, well, way to compare yourself to like the world's best power couple. Like,
yeah. And, he does struggle with the issues of his parents' marriage. Yeah. I think he's doing I think he's being normal about this. And, I think Clay is half crazy with his crazy eyes and everything.
Yeah.
But this is a lot to think about because you've only known this person for 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
So it is bringing up a lot of things that you would normally work out if you're engaged to a person for like a year or 2 years or, however long. And they're just rushing him. And his eyes are just getting crazier every episode. They're just wild.
13 days until the wedding. We see Amy and Johnny and Amy's eyeliner, and they go to meet Dad, whose name is David, in the park. He sits down. He's very sweet. I mean, Amy had painted a picture of like a mafia man, like he was a mobster, like he was so scary.
I didn't get that from when she talked about her dad.
Oh, I did. I got it like, you don't understand. He's hardcore. And like, if he doesn't approve, I'll never be able to do this. Even though she said in the past, I shared too much with my parents.
Right.
Now and I need to stand on my own feet and I need to not bow to what they say. But if my dad says no, then it's no. She seemed a little scared of him.
I felt like he was very overly protective and they were super, super, super close. I didn't pick up on the mafia, but he most definitely is not mafia.
No. When I say mafia, I don't literally mean he's Tony Soprano. I meant like she made it sound like he was so hardcore.
Right. And he's not.
I know. He's super sweet. Yeah. Super sweet.
He looks like he cries when he watches The Notebook.
Yeah. He was a big teddy bear.
Yes, he was.
So, and remember, he takes full-time care of the autistic brother.
Right.
So obviously he's got to have a good heart and be, such a sweet man. They're very close. Yeah.
And we don't know much about Mom.
No, we don't. We do see her later, but she doesn't speak English.
Not very well. Not very well.
So, he, Dad's like, so tell me about your job. So blah, 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 IT, whatever. And he said, software sales, something. And he says, he wants to retire early to do something that he wants to do, like learn to surf and then teach kids to surf. Like he's very into this idea of he's going to retire at 50 and then do something that's not just a job. I mean, listen, I have an uncle that retired early and it was not a good thing. It's not a good thing to retire at 50. It's not.
I don't think it is either.
No. Dad says, listen, Amy, lights up so many lives. She's so special. She touches so many lives around her. And as a parent, you want that person, for your kid that will be there when I'm not there or, when I'm not around anymore. I want that person that will be there for my kid. And I've been praying. It's very sweet. He's very sweet.
You know what? I need to go record just that part of how he described Amy and send it to my parents and ask them, is that how they describe me when they talk about me to other people?
Yeah, my answer would be no.
For me or for you?
For me, not for you. For you, your parents probably do. But for me, my parents would be like, we don't talk that way in the South. That'd be bragging.
My parents be like, no, we've heard this bitch threw a knife at her husband one time. So, no, if she lights up something, it's probably something illegal or a house.
She's like Lisa Left Eye Lopez. Lisa burned down the house. All right.
Yes, she did.
R.I.P. So he says he's been praying for someone to come into Amy's life. And it seems like, this is so great. And Johnny says, I'm so happy. I love her so much. And I want to have a good relationship with the family as well. I know it'll be a change with me coming in as the new guy, but I hope it'll be a good change. And he says, may I have the blessing to marry your daughter? And the dad says yes. But he goes, I tried to make a dramatic pause, which was funny.
It wasn't long enough of a pause. But it did make me go, uh-oh, for a second. Yeah. And then by then he was already saying, yeah.
And then she cries and dad cries and he says, we love you. We want the best for you. We're going to always be here for you, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I think it's on. I think they get married. I think everything's fine. That's what I think. That's what I think. Don't tell me any different if you've seen it.
I'm not. I'm just going to say,
Okay. They could just get that birth control situation worked out.
There's no way they do not get it on the night before the wedding.
I don't understand it. Double condiment. Put in a spermicide in a cup or whatever.
There's so many things.
Sponge. I don't know. What do people do? People do things.
Yes, they do.
There's a whole aisle at the CVS.
I've never met a man and said, I need for you to go get a vasectomy before we have sex.
Yeah, turns out that's not the solution.
No, it's not.
It's pretty hardcore. Okay, so now we see Chelsea and Jimmy. Okay, so they're sitting outside. It's the night of when they met the parents that morning.
Right.
I literally just got like a hot flash because I'm getting so nervous about this scene. I gotta take my jacket off.
Well, you're gonna laugh at the part about this scene that made my anxiety go high. I'm going to let you know exactly what it is when we get to it.
Okay. Because I've got this written down pretty verbatim because that's what I do. Okay. So if they're sitting outside and he goes, I really loved you meeting my family. And, now I love you even more. And they kiss. Mm-hmm. Now, she's like, oh, that's great, babe. Now, here is where at this exact point in this first sentence, she should have shut her fucking mouth, gone to bed.
Yeah.
Leave on a high note, Chelsea. Leave on a high note.
It was a good day. It was such a good day.
And then she says,
good day.
Oh, and I was so cranky with you this morning because of last night. But then I'm like, oh my God, I just love him with all my heart. And he goes, you can't be cranky with me. Like that was the most reasonable thing for me to do. Now, what he's referring to here, now that we've seen the whole thing, what he's referring to here is the most reasonable thing for me to do was to go out, see my friend, have one drink for his birthday, and then come back home. Right?
Yeah, that like every woman would be like, oh, okay, he did that and hurried back home so he can spend more time with me. Like,
yeah,
he could have stayed out longer than that with me, and I would have been totally fine with it. I know where you're at.
Right.
I can text gone. You were supposed
he said
to text.
It was more driving time than he was there. Yeah.
Yeah. But I have a theory about Chelsea.
Okay.
And don't you women who do this come for me, because it is my theory. Any woman who parts her hair on the right side and the hair goes to the left has a touch of crazy in them.
As I'm sitting here, I'm like,
no, yours is on the right side. Yours is on the right side.
My hair is parted on the left and it goes to the right.
And that's how it's supposed. That's for us normal girls. Okay.
Okay.
But girls that do it the other way, no.
This is a crazy theory. We're going to need Bunky Lindsay Knoll, the hair expert, to weigh in if there's any validity to Keisha's statement.
I've never met another person who thought this. It is just a me thing. I am convinced that women that part on the right side and the hair goes to the left, it's got a touch of crazy.
What if that means they're just left-handed?
I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It's my theory and I'm sticking to it.
Okay. It's pretty far-fetched, but you know what? I'll let you have it.
Aren't many things that I say.
So she goes, I can't be cranky with you. the camera crew leaves and you shower and you get ready to go. And he goes, I asked you to go out. And she goes, no, you didn't. And he goes, yeah, I said I was going to go. But I mean, I knew you didn't want to go. You're already like in your pajamas. And he goes, I was gone for an hour and I was more driving time than I was there. And she goes, okay, I'll give you that. And she goes, like, girls from the pod were like, hey, your man is out. Where are you? Like, that was embarrassing. They saw you. They saw you. And he goes, who? Who saw me? And she goes, Mackenzie. And he goes, I don't know who that is or what she looks like. Well, she knows what you look like. So he goes, okay, well, I didn't see anybody from the pod. So, and he goes, I wasn't hanging out with the girls from the pod. So I don't know. And then she goes through this whole thing. She was just like, I just want to be at home and in bed. And I don't want to be with someone who wants to go out and party. And that's why I'm hammering you. And he goes, I drove there. I had one drink and I came home. I had one drink socially and I came home.
She's acting like he went to a trap house, then to a strip club, and then a fraternity party.
She's acting like he's Jeramy, is what she's acting like.
Exactly. How she's behaving, it was warranted for what Jeramy did, not for this at all. I mean, I sent James to go get cupcakes from Houston, and it took an hour. And you know what I mean?
Yes.
That was not a long time at all.
And she goes, is that something I want to deal with? I don't want to do that. Like, you in the pods, you lied to me and said you don't like to go out. And then I hear your man is out. Like, where are you? Like, how embarrassing. So embarrassing. And now like I'm getting a facade from you. And I don't like that because you lied to me and you said you don't go out. And I turned down going with my friends because I'm really in the process of this shit. Like, I'm trying to dive into this man and you don't give two shits. So he stands up. He stands up and goes, okay. Now he knows she's drunk, right? So he's trying to kind of diffuse it. And he goes,
yes.
Okay, so you think I don't care about you because I went out and had one drink to make an appearance for a friend's birthday, and then I came right back. And she goes, is that the kind of person you are? Because that's not the kind of person I want to be with. This is not the life I'm getting. I love you. I love you. I want to be around you, but you're not giving me much.
Yeah, because he left for an hour.
And he goes, I've been away from you for a total of 3.5 hours.
Right. I believe that too.
A total the whole time.
Yeah, I believe that 100%.
And he goes, and you're questioning if I'm lying? And she goes, do you understand the situation that I'm in, that we're in? Like, girls in the pods were there, and then I find out you're with your girls. And he goes, okay, so if you're offended that I have girlfriends, then that's a whole different story.
Who she just approved of last week.
And met and said they're great. She couldn't wait to have new friends.
Exactly.
So she says, you're not being respectful for me. Like, who do you hang out with when you're not here? Where do you go when you go to work? And he goes, here.
Here.
He works from home.
Yeah.
She was trying when she goes, where do you go when you go to work? He goes, bedroom number 2, my office.
It's the part. It's the part.
She goes, who do you text all day? And he goes, oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. If you were fishing for me to say that I text my girlfriends all the time, let me tell you what, if you sign up for me, you sign up for my friends. But, I can take a step back if you want me to. Now, this is what he said. I can take a step back if that's what you want.
Yes.
And she goes, I've asked you to, and you didn't listen. And he goes, yeah, I'm listening. And she goes, I do want you to take a step back. He goes, well, I'm not willing to take a step back.
Good for you, Jimmy. It's dangerous territory you're going into, but good job for you.
And so she cries. He goes inside. Okay, so eventually she follows him. Now, this is another spot, would have been a good spot for her to call it a night. Just call it a night. She had the first opportunity to end on a high note. Now, before it escalates, just go to bed.
He should have just closed the balcony door and locked it.
Left her out there with a blankie.
Outside. Yeah, let her sleep outside.
So she goes in. She goes, listen, I've told you that it makes me uncomfortable. And he says, I'm just saying you've never asked me to take a step back from my friends. We're just friends and there's nothing physical. And she goes, but it is though, because you told me you fucked her. You told me that. You told me you fucked her. And that's when I think
a secret. That did it right there.
You bitch. I mean, I think he's like,
yeah.
So he
says,
that
was pillow talk and was not supposed to be exposed.
Because that's his friend. That's not cool.
Okay, so here's where my anxiety is going through the roof.
Oh, this was the spot? Okay.
I could hardly watch it. I had to just talk myself, and I'm like, Keisha, you can do this. You are a strong woman.
Okay.
Do not let this bring you down.
Okay.
Do not have a meltdown.
Okay.
He is brushing his teeth during this time, right?
Yes.
He did not spit out the toothpaste spit.
I think he did. I think he did.
They didn't show it.
They didn't show it.
They didn't show it, and I needed them to have shown it because to me, he swallowed it, and my anxiety went from 0 to 500.
No, he definitely did. He definitely did.
Mary Kane, I wish you had told me that before I watched the scene.
Just assume.
I could not assume because I didn't. I couldn't. I just kept watching him like he is talking with all that toothpaste in his mouth, and he swallowed it. Because he was brushing, then he turned around and he kept talking. He still had the fucking toothbrush in his hand. And I just was not right for the rest of the night. It just did something to me. I think that is so gross.
Well, that is gross. You should have sent me a text and I would have talked to you off the ledge for that one. Yeah.
I was on the ledge.
I'm sorry.
By myself.
I'm sorry that upset you.
A bottle of Listerine.
Okay.
I was there. Yes.
Hey everybody, it's producer Ingrid. You just listened to the first part of our Love is Blind recap. You can find part 2 in the feed right now.
Ads not read by me, Mary Kane, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.